Hey everybody, it's Johnny from Focus Camera. I have a very exciting announcement from Sigma. It's a new 50mm f1.2 DGDN art lens. You know art lens always has some very quality glass. We're going to get some really nice shots with it. It's also compact, handles very well. It's light, 745 grams, has a filter size of 72mm. This lens is equipped with a durable brass bayonet mount and is designed for full-frame mirrorless cameras. This lens has a lockable aperture ring. I like to use it when I want to ensure that the aperture ring doesn't slip into the automatic mode or vice versa. It is available in Sony E and L mounts. It also has a click and de-click switch. When I'm shooting in video mode, I have it set to off so that it doesn't make any noises. And when I'm shooting in still mode, I like to make sure that the click switch is turned on, so that way if I change the aperture ring, I'm either going to feel it or I'm going to hear it. It also has an AFL button, which I like to customize to be an auto eye focusing on and off button. And of course it also has an autofocus manual focus switch. I like these style lens hoods because they get locked into position. To unlock it, you just push the button and twist the lens hood off. The filter thread size is 72mm, and the front element has a water and oil repellent coating. One of the first things I noticed was at the Brooklyn Bridge. There was a little gap in the overcast day where some sun was peeking in, and it was backlighting up the Brooklyn Bridge, which I thought was a great opportunity to test out the chromatic aberration. So here I opened it up in Photoshop. I'm just going to zoom in. You can see that there's no blue or green chromatic aberration. It does a great job of just getting rid of any ghosting or flaring, or if you take a look at these lines here, that's where you'll see it. You'll see it on the edges of the walls or on these metal wires, but you don't see it because they did a great job on this lens. If you go down here towards this little fence area, the light's really pouring through and making them thin, and you really don't see any chromatic aberration, so it was really impressive, and there's just nothing there to notice. It's just this amazing lens when it comes to getting rid of chromatic aberration. If you zoom out, look how small that area is on the photograph. This is Sigma's first 13-bladed rounded diaphragm, so it should be super smooth, and let's try it out. We escaped the rain and went into the timeout market in Brooklyn to test out the Bokeh. Just found an area with some lights in the background. I like to focus on something close like I did with this chair, and then pan over to the lights in the background all blurred out. And they have all different types of lighting fixtures, so sometimes you might see a little more of a football shape, but you can also see the very rounded edges, super smooth. Just really liking the way these bokeh come out. Check out the outer rim of the bokeh balls. There's no overcorrection, no aberrations, there's no color bleeding. And when zoomed in, there's no onion ring. These were shot at 1.2. And if we take a look at this other picture myself, you can see some lights in the background, some smaller lights. This was shot at 2.2 aperture. You could just see how smooth it is and how it separates your subject from the background. That's just from Focus, giving us the 2 thumbs up. She approves. Moving on to test the focus breathing in video mode. There's a very little change in the angle of view as the focal distance changes, which is very helpful for video capture. The manual focus ring can be assigned to linear or non-linear response. I find that feature to be super helpful. It gives you a little more control on what you want to focus on, while still having all the capabilities of autofocus. This lens has a minimal focus distance of 40 centimeters or 15.8 inches. As you can see here, the focus plane shifts from the back of the leaf to the front of the leaf, and it hits the front of the leaf when it's exactly 15.8 inches. And the more I move out, the more everything becomes in focus because the focal plane gets larger. Special thanks to Sigma. I'll leave you today with a slideshow of some of my favorite shots on the day. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you would like to purchase this lens, you can go to our website, focuscamera.com, click the link in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, adios.